So good day everybody. My name is Jacob Christian G. Bautista and I am from BSIT 21 and I am here to report about JSON and XML. So what is JSON? Have you ever noticed how users and servers interact? Well, this is one of the reasons why it can do the things that we know today, how they communicate. So JSON is an abbreviation from the words Java from JavaScript object notation. So it is a data interchange format. So ibig sabihin nitong data interchange format, ito yung isa sa mga reasons kung paano nagko-communicate ang users to the server. Ayan, no? Connection between server and web applications, which is mainly on HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And the keywords here that are mainly used are data in this data format are objects, arrays, array of objects, keys and values. In this abbreviation, there is a mention of JavaScript, which is a well-known back-end development programming language. So what is the difference of JSON and JavaScript? So JSON is derived from JavaScript, so the syntax is the same, but they have an entirely different purpose. JSON is mainly used for transmitting data from the client to the server. It can be created and used by other programming languages. In JavaScript, it is mainly used for back-end development. JavaScript can also use objects, but it can only be used in JavaScript. So, yung ibang mga languages, pwedeng i-access yung mga JSON files, pero kapag gumawa ka ng object sa loob ng isang JavaScript file, yung JavaScript file lang yung makaka-access nun. Hindi yung mga iba pang programming languages. So, this is an example of an object in JSON. So we mentioned previously that there are in the keywords there are keys and values. In this example, we see that this is an object. The object is contained in a set of curly braces. So all of this is an object. The name here is the key. Name, age, is employed, or hobbies. Tapos yung value naman, yun yung mismong ano yung i-insert mo. Yung pangalan mo, age mo, yung kung true ba is employed. Tapos yung hobbies niya, video games, lazy, playboy. So, ang object ay isang collection of data. Okay? So, this is a collection of data tungkol sa isang employee, which is yung pangalan niya ay Mordecai. Yung age niya is 25 years old. Employed ba siya? Yes, it is true that he is employed. What are his hobbies? His hobbies are three, which are video games, being lazy, and being a playboy. So, one of the keywords of the JSON is an array. So, an array is a collection. It's also a collection of data, but in a similar data type. So, we have here as an example is an array of employees' names. So, there are Mordecai, Rigby, Benson, and Pops. Let's go. So we're here now in the array of objects. An array of objects is similar to an array, but with objects as within the array. So what we have here are, let's focus on here. What we have here are an array of park employees. So we have 4 employees in the park. So we have Mordecai, Rigby, Benson, and Pops. So the way how you do this array of object is to get an array and give it some objects. Simple as that. And the way how you separate each object is by placing a comma. And after that, you simply give an object. So the next one is XML. So it is an extensible markup language, data interchange format, and the connection between server web application which are HTTP. So if you see the difference, which there are none in the description of XML and JSON, that is because that's because their purpose on how they function is the same. The only difference is the keyword that is used in XML is node. What is the difference of XML and HTML? Many of you notice that there are almost a similar name of XML to HTML. So it has almost similar names, but they fulfill different purposes, just like JavaScript and JSON. So HTML is for displaying content in the browser, while XML is for exchanging and store data between the client and server. It is basically the same with JSON, but with a few differences. So let's go with a sample of XML code. So here, I said in the keywords of XML is that the important part is the node. So we have two nodes, a parent node and a child node. So parent node is this, the friend circle, and the child node is whatever the nodes that are within the parent node. So the friend circle is the parent node, and the friend tag, that is the child node. So there are two friends in the friend circle. Within the friend circle, within the friend tag, there are first name, the age of the person, and the hobbies. The friend can also be considered as parent node because it contains a lot of child nodes. Hobbies can also be parent node because there are several child nodes within the hobbies. So coding, gaming, and reading. I hope you can understand this. So what is the difference of XML and JSON? So XML is in need of high storage, while the JSON is a lightweight data interchange format. XML is a verbose, while JSON does not have verbose. So what does these two bullets mean? One of the many reasons why XML has high storage is because it has verbose, while JSON does not have that, which is why JSON is more lightweight and more compact in storing data. For context, verbose means the use of more words than necessary, so it needs storage. In layman's terms, XML is wordy, so it needs high storage, while JSON is concise, which does not need much storage. One of the main differences of XML and JSON is the spelling. XML is extensible markup language and JSON is JavaScript object notation. Good. So XML does not support array while JSON supports array. So XML does not support array while JSON can. XML uses nodes and be identified as parents and child node to replace an array in JSON. The last difference is XML uses a tag structure to represent data items, while the JSON represents data as object. What is the connection of XML and JSON with API? So JSON and XML are commonly used in APIs as formats for exchanging data between client and servers. Just think that an API is a service, like a waiter serving the customers and delivering their orders to the kitchen, while JSON and XML are the literal waiters doing the service of API. That's one example on how to understand the connection of JSON, and XML with API. So, in another note, XML and JSON are grammars or syntax that connects the clients or users to the servers, which are the computers. We humans often encounter language barriers. When speaking with people outside our country, it is the same when users interact with computers. These two languages are the gateway of communication between users and servers. So, how data formats used in HTTP? In the last lesson, we discussed about the HTTP request. So we have the four main components of an HTTP request. We just want to focus here in the header. So within the header, there are two types of headers. There is a content type header and accept header. The content type header tells the server what the content is formatted. The content type header tells the server that the content is formatted in a particular way. If the content is JSON format, then the content type will be application/JSON. If the content is in XML format, then it will be application/XML or text/XML. Then the server will respond. It will tell the client what data format it needs. The communication is successful if the client can receive the response in the same data format. If the client can only accept one data format, then it will fail and throw an error. If a client wants to send data to the server, the content type header tells the server what kind of language it uses, if it is JSON or XML. If the client sends the data in the form of JSON, then the content type will be written as application/JSON. If the client sends an XML file, then the content type will be application/XML. The communication will be successful if the client can receive the response in the same data format. So, kapag naintindihan na ng server na JSON pala ang ginamit na language na sinend ni client, magiging successful yun. Tapos, gagawin naman yung lahat ng mga services na sinend ng client. Kapag hindi yun gumana, kunwari, nag-send si client ng JSON file. Tapos yun pala, yung server nag-a-accept lang ng XML file. Doon nang magkakaroon ng error kasi hindi maintindihan ng server yung JSON file kasi XML lang naiintindihan lang. So, if the client can only accept one data format, then it will fail and throw an error. Paano yun masosolusyonan? Ito yung solution. Accept header. So, it tells the server what data format is available in the client. Here in the second HTTP header, which is the accept header, it can tell the server what data format is available for the client. If the server does not support the format the client requests, then it will fail and send an error to the client. That's all. Thank you po.